So I would like to first introduce from AJR. I think we have a huge Jackie Robinson crew here today, yes? I'd like to welcome to the stage Miss Botello.
Good evening, everyone. I love this young lady. This is her third time placing for the Animo Voices art competition. She is an artist. She's also an athlete. She is a school leader. She's brilliant. She figured out how to best express her voice through art, and we're really proud of her for being brave. For this painting, which is the third place winner, it was really hard. I think all of the students will agree that it was really hard to figure out how to express joy in this world that we're living in this time that we're living in. So Wendy decided that she was going to construct her painting based on the discovery that remembering the passing of loved ones can be joy. And I think we can all agree when we think of those people who really, really have touched us and we've lost them, just that memory is something that brings us a feeling of joy, of satisfaction, of like, thank you for being with me. So in Wendy's painting, she expresses how authentic joy can be discovered with, and also like coupled with profound waves of woe. There is sadness right next to joy, I think. The bottom half of Wendy's painting, super large, guys, super large. The bottom half of her painting depicts saying goodbye to those she's lost, we've lost, while at the top is her female representation of joy, trying your best. So it gives me great honor and great pleasure to introduce to y'all Miss Wendy Cornejo.
Hi, my name is Wendy. As you can see, that's my painting. And I would just like to start off by reading a piece of my writing. Can I take it off? Yeah. Okay. We understand the world through contrast. The main subject of my piece is the top-center goddess figure, Joy, a personification of the unfathomable emotion of blissfulness and jubilation. She is a real joy because she is growing from her opposite, woe, that inevitable feeling of grief and sadness. Woe is beautifully anchored in grief and impermanence. Everyone we love will perish, represented by the visual metaphor of the skeleton sinking into a Day of the Dead garden. When losing someone, a family member, a bond, or a friend, it is a heart-wrenching experience. This winter, I lost my uncle. Originally, I focused on all that I could have changed. Sorry. Which did not help. So I incited joy by creating this painting. I learned to cope with loss by holding on to our memories, joyful and sad. I created joy from loss, and I hope my audience can also find joy in seeing this piece and in the sharing of memories represented by the orbs and hands reaching out and holding on. As a society, we need to question and think about the fact that facing our woe, rather than hiding it, can lead us to feel liberated, free, and happy. We should share our joy, and in doing so, we should share our woe. Through bittersweet reflection, we can heal. Real joy grows from grieving processes, and This painting was the long process that led me from woe to joy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wendy, for your vulnerability and your art. I would now like to introduce from Ánimo South Los Angeles, Mr. Phan.
Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's doing good tonight. I was not prepared to do a little speech, but I'm here to introduce one of the most talented artists in my school, Karen. Let me just talk about her a little bit. I met Karen last year in college readiness class, where she showcased her art to me, and I incorporated art a little bit into that class. Not really an art class, but I gotta get in my arts. This year, she's in my advanced class, and it's amazing to see how much she has grown and how much hard work she put into everything she do. It's my pleasure to introduce Karen Barrera.
Hi, my name is Karen, and I'm going to be honest. I didn't think I was going to win, so the little artist statement in your book, I didn't really put much effort into it. So I did actually rewrite it when I heard that I did, in fact, get second place. Yeah, within my art piece, Hyperfixations Plague the Mind, you can see references to pieces of media as well as other things I like, well, surrounding my head. There are soot sprites from Studio Ghibli, from the Studio Ghibli film, My Neighbor Totoro and Spirited Away. You can see an inkling and an octoling from Nintendo's game Splatoon, as well as Mario, rings from Sonic the Hedgehog, and like a lollipop, and I'm sorry, and some mushrooms. Now, a hyperfixation is when you are completely engrossed in a hobby, interest, person, place, etc., to the point where it becomes all-consuming and can sometimes disrupt your day-to-day functioning. Dedicating your time and attention to it, that it becomes difficult to focus on anything other than the object of your hyperfixation. How long you hyperfixate on it can vary. Some will hyperfixate on something for months at a time, while others may last just a few days. Those with ADHD or those who are on the autism spectrum are more likely to experience this. And as a person who has ADHD, I do very much experience this. As troubling as that explanation of a hyperfixation sounds, in my case, hyperfixations are a helpful distraction from whatever is stressing me out. They make me feel relaxed and bring me immense joy. When I play Splatoon, I am happy. When I play a Sonic game, I'm happy, and so on. In my piece, I used a warm color palette of red, orange, and yellow, and I put a lot of my time into putting as much detail as I could when it came to coloring each interest, all to show the joy that they evoke whenever I dedicate my time and attention to the object of my hyperfixation. Thank you.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Mr. Phan, Ms. Botello. I want to bring up our honorable mentions. So when you hear your name, please come to the stage and receive your gifts, your prizes. So if I could please have to the stage from AJR, Melanie Cruz. These next three individuals are from Ánimo Inglewood: Valerie Martinez, Emily Mejia, and Belgica Vera. Yeah, come up to the... Go. And lastly, honorable mention from Ánimo South Los Angeles, Adriana Sanchez. Oh, it's okay. All right. Guests, if you could please give them a huge round of applause. All right, thank you so much to our art honorable mentions. You could exit this way. Oh, did you get your pictures? Did you get your pictures? All right, awesome. So, I have a question. How long did it take you to do that yarn? Huh? 3 months. That yarn piece, 3 months. Hold on, keep on going. How long did it take yours? How long? 2 hours, okay, and then yours? 2 weeks? How, are you okay? Do you need help or you're falling apart, girl? How long did it take you?
Super long.
Okay, all I want to say is just the duration of time. I know for Wendy, it took you a few months, correct? Oh, it took you a week. And then for, get your time straight, 2 weeks. Okay. Karen, how long did it take you? A week or two. I think if we were to put all that time together, estimated time all our artists put into the pieces that we see on stage and in the lobby, I want to say over 6 months, which is how long Animo Voices has been launched. You know, we started at the beginning of the school year, and now I know it's the end of the school year, but things were due in January. So I love artists because I can't do any of that. So again, one huge round of applause for our artists. All right. We're rolling now. Mr. Carlson, do we have our middle school teachers in the bag already? So we're gonna move on to middle school writing. And I'm very excited to introduce very Mr. Spiffy, Mr. Anderson from Animo, James B. Taylor. You here? Yeah, there he is. Okay, I was waiting for you.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mr. Anderson. I am an English teacher at Animo James B. Taylor. It is my honor and pleasure to announce the third place winner, Jeremiah Avalos. What can I say about Jeremiah? He is a wonderful person, but he's an even better student. He comes to our investigation class very inquisitive, ready to work, learn, and answer some of the bigger problems we have in society. So he's just a great person, and I am so happy to present Jeremiah.
My anything box. My anything box always gave me joy. When I was 6, me and my family moved. When we moved, we got a new fridge. It came home in this box. We kept the box, and that was my anything box. You might be wondering what my anything box is, and well, it's a box. You might wonder what's so special about a box and how a box can give you joy, because you can really only put something in it. That might be true for any other box, but not my box, because that box was the size of a refrigerator. The reason I call it my anything box was because every day when I came home from school, I remember going to the living room and imagining it's a car, a plane, a base, a lab, Really anything, because 6-year-old me was always overflowing with imagination, creativity, and most importantly, joy. I always had joy when I was sitting with my anything box. Every time there was a box, I got it and stored it in my anything box. So I could imagine it had super high-tech computers and that they had signals detecting creatures all around me. Eventually, I even made a castle where I would enter and not get bothered by the cars honking outside. The castle wasn't that big, as I was smaller, so anything was big when I was that age. But even though I was smaller and young, I still had joy. I kept on adding newer stuff every single time a new box came. Although I did not only make a castle, as every day I would take apart what I made and build something new the next day, and so on. The only time my anything box was actually used as something to store stuff was when I went to bed. I would put all the little boxes in my anything box and then go to sleep. Even when I was putting away the small boxes, my anything box was still not just a box. It was either a basketball hoop or a soccer goal. I would either throw the small boxes in like a basketball player or kick it in like a soccer player, and then celebrate with joy. I remember that I would either kick it up so it could be a basketball hoop or punch it down so it could be a soccer goal. I always felt like I had superpowers that let me punch and kick massive buildings. One thing I'll always remember, though, is how every night I would go to bed thinking what my anything box will be, thinking of the joy I'll have the next day.
That's exactly how I read it in my head. The line, well, it's a box. That's exactly how I read it, Jeremiah. I'm so glad you're here. Jeremiah was originally not going to be able to make it, but he made it out. So this is really cool. And now from Animal Legacy, I'd like to introduce Miss Shivers.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I have the honor and the privilege of introducing Jessica Mauldin. If there are things that I could say about her, there are many, but 3 things I want you all to know is Jessica is a scholar. Inside the classroom, outside of the classroom, everybody at Legacy is so proud of her in every step that she takes. She's also very creative. Shameless plug, she sells knitted coasters. So if you ever want one, Jessica makes them. And I wish that I could say that we did so much coaching and helped her so much, but Jessica kind of had the idea for her poem and ran with it, and we just applauded her along the way. And finally, Jessica's so kind. If I could think of anybody in this world who is kinder, I just can't think of anybody. And when I think of about joy, I think of Jessica. When our students on campus see her, their eyes light up, and you can just feel the tension leave their body. They're so relaxed. She is a safe space for all of us. And so, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you the joy of Legacy, Miss Jessica Mauldin.
Okay, wow. Hello, my name is Jessica, So I was actually super confused about this prompt. I'm like, about joy. Joy? I was like, what am I supposed to do? And so I was actually looking at 1,000 writing prompts, and I was like, these are bad. Like, who wrote these? So I just wrote, I don't even know. I thought of it at school, and I wrote the first line, then I wrote the rest at home. And yeah, see, now I'm here. So I'm gonna read it for you now. It's called The Colors of the Rainbow. He lived in a world of black and white. His skin was a shade of gray, and his eyes a light gray. People all around him said that they could see the colors of the rainbow. They asked, "Isn't the rainbow beautiful?" After the storm, it gives us joy. But he had never seen the rainbow. He never knew the color of a flame. He never knew that flame had a color besides white. He was blank. He didn't know of color. He didn't know of emotions, so he was empty. Whoa. His name was Hollow. One day, while walking across the street, Hollow saw a woman. She too looked blank. So Hollow walked up to the woman and asked her name. She was Void. Hollow asked if she could see in color. Void could see red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Hollow didn't know what those were. Void taught him how to name the black and white. One day, Hollow didn't feel as hollow. When Void told him about his heart and what color that was, he felt a warm stirring where she put her hand, on the left side of his chest. Hollow gasped as tears sprang to his eyes. His heart felt hot, beating more powerfully than it had ever felt before. Slowly, he could see the world in red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Void. Hollow? I don't feel hollow anymore. Oh, hollow. I feel quite full in my heart. Hollow paused, then his lips stretched into a smile and his eyes twinkled with happiness. Void suddenly rushed forward and pressed her lips onto his. Hollow wrapped his arms around her. They spun and laughed and danced, for they weren't empty, or half full. Love prevailed in the end, and that day, Hollow and Void turned into jubilation and euphoria.
I actually had the honor of subbing for Jessica last year, right? Jessica, I met you in person? Mm-hmm. Yes. She said, mm-hmm. At this time, I'd like to introduce to the stage our middle school site finalists. So when you hear your name, please come up to the stage to receive your prize. From Animo Compton, we have Zahir Bey Gray and Giselle Zambia. From Animo Florence Firestone, we have Mixeli Melgar and Alison Regalado. I know I saw Allison. Where is she? There she is. From Animo James B. Taylor, Emily Romero. From Animo Legacy, Danielle Talbert. Oh, stay up here. From Animo May Jemison, Estrella Garcia. And Jose Velasco. Awesome. So while they get the prizes again, if you want to read any of our school site finalists' works, they'll be available in the publication, which you could find on the Green Dot blog. Okay? So. All right, awesome. Thank you so much. Now we have the high school writing folks. Okay, who's the yes? Who was that? That was. Okay, who are you here for? Oh, okay. Yeah, that is your son. Jamari, we're not missing you, though. You're at the end, okay? I just want to let you know, Dad. Actually, while speaking of parents, can we get another round of applause for all the parents and guardians here? We're a little halfway through, or a little under halfway through, and I'm filled with pride just seeing our students up here. So I can't imagine what it's like for you all to be here and the vulnerability that your students have in expressing themselves through art and writing. So I want to bring up to the stage from Animal Ralph Bunch, Miss Newaz.
Good evening, everyone. This is my second year teaching Brisa, and it has been such a pleasure to watch her grow as a writer and a student. As her AP Lang teacher, we write a lot of essays, very analytical, so I don't get to see her creative side as much as I'd like to. But thankfully for Animo Voices, she had the opportunity to create a heartwarming love letter to her siblings, and I'm so incredibly excited for all of you to hear it. It is my honor to introduce the brilliant Brisa Martinez.
Hi. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's get through it so we can just go home. I actually haven't read it since I submitted it, so. In a Mexican household, being the oldest daughter means you're the second mom. Growing up, I remember being held accountable for everything my sisters did. Very vividly, I remember laying in my mom's room, coloring in a picture, and I heard my dad yelling for me, and hastily ran to the living room. My dad, mira, ¿qué está haciendo tus hermanas? I look over to find my two sisters coloring on the walls. At the time, I was still quite confused on what that had to do with me. Están colorando las paredes. No estoy ciega, Brisa. I remained silent and backed away a little bit. ¿Dónde estabas? ¿Por qué no estabas colorando tus hermanas? Me vas a limpiar todas las paredes de esta casa y no quiero ninguna mancha. Pero yo no hice nada. At this point, there was tears rolling down my cheeks because I'm very sensitive. Dad, no me importa. Me limpias las paredes ahora misma. I looked over to my mom, who's still sitting down at the dinner table next to me. She gives me a sympathetic look before giving out a sigh. I don't exactly remember what happened, just that there was a lot of yelling. My mom told me and my sisters to go to my room. I could hear my mom telling him off for blaming everything on me, and him saying I had to learn responsibility. It went on for a while before my mom just walked away and gave up. I was still blamed for stuff my sister did, but at least my mom was sympathetic about it. At least I got a, I'm sorry, mija, and could get candy whenever we went to the store. It didn't matter that I had to wash walls and clean up messes I didn't make. At least my mom knew it wasn't my fault, but it wasn't enough. Do I have to read the whole thing? Oh, then if you want to know the rest, read it in the book.
I don't know if my mic's on. Yeah, there it is. Brisa, thanks. Oh. So two things. I want to celebrate tonight. What's so joyful for me is just how much we celebrate bilingualism in this publication. There's a lot of Spanish. Second, shout out to all of the oldest daughters in the room. We truly do make the world go round. So, and actually, wait, no, sorry, there's another thing. Brisa, did you come with your mom? Yeah, I did. Okay, so in Brisa's reply to her RSVP, she said, watch out, I'm bringing the most beautiful girl in the world. And I was wondering who it was, and it's her mother, so. I read the RSVPs. I don't know. If you comment, I'm reading them. Okay. Next up, from Ánimo Luck, I would like to introduce Mr. Velazquez.
Thank you. Mr. Velazquez, I'm an 11th grade English teacher at Ánimo Luck, and it's really an honor for me to be able to introduce Giovanni Covarrubias as the second place winner in the high school writing contest. I've known Giovanni for about 9 months, pretty much since the beginning of the school year. This is the first time that I've had him in my classroom, and I've learned a lot about him. I learned that he's sometimes a little quiet. I learned that he's dedicated. He's a very strong student, academically very sound. He's always on task. He's always doing everything that he needs to do to be successful. But through the process of this contest, I learned that he's very courageous. Courageous because he was willing to use a piece that was actually a narrative that he turned in for the fall semester final, and decided to share about a personal experience that, despite the fact that it was painful, he was able to extract joy from that. Courageous for being willing to share that with the world in a way that can inspire people. And I think that that's probably his greatest quality, that courage. So congratulations, Giovanni Covarrubias, on winning the second place. Please cover that, please.
Hi guys. So, I kind of wrote a lot, so I'm only gonna read a small part of it. So, it's called "The Total Eclipse of My Bliss." I love being in the bright sun, a reminder of an oncoming better day, something that would always be there when I wake up. I felt a special connection to it, and so therefore I named the sun Joy. The best years of my life were in elementary. I had no worries, I was unashamed, everyone accepted me. That's until 5th grade. "You act like a girl," said a classmate of mine. And this was the first time I heard this soon-to-be exhausted phrase my ears would hear for the rest of my life. That question would sometimes be substituted for a hi. This was my new normal. Phase 1. I looked up at the shaded blue sky, but felt a small tug of sporadic energy. I could see a change in the sun. It looked like something had eaten a small piece of it. Joy was slowly disappearing. It never crossed my mind that it was wrong to be this way, a boy who's feminine, but I tried to ignore this newly birthed thought that there are things I should and shouldn't be doing because I'm a boy. I was trying to secretly erase a part of myself that was seen as weird by others. I buried these ideas deep down and finished elementary with the words, a big smile on my face, and I took it with me to middle school. That's when I first heard that word, gay. I had no idea what it meant and why I was being called that, but I heard it so much I discovered its real meaning, boys who like boys. I finally knew that I did like other boys. I started to dissect that word and even myself. So I changed my mannerisms and acted as straight as I could to avoid conflict with anyone. I went to school with people looking at me through prejudiced eyes. Phase 2. The shadow was hungry for more, so the sun was seen less. I never lost hope though. I held on tight to just a sliver of light. I held on to what joy could only offer. With certain individuals, it was as if I had the word fag tattooed on my forehead. And one time, a student approached me and yelled, "I'll beat the gay out of you." I barely knew him. Sometimes I would walk in a classroom full of boys for which I only lived in their peripheral vision. So I stopped trying to make guy friends because they showed patterns of hatred towards people like me. I got through most of my year deflecting what was projected onto me, made good friends who accepted me, and was doing well in school, and my family loved me. But I had to face yet another obstacle. And that's all.
I just want to call out that that was only an excerpt from Giovanni's piece, and you'll find the whole work in our blog. Thank you, Giovanni, for taking us through the journey of your finding your identity, working through that, and the joy that may not be present in the moment, but is only found going through it. So, or after going through it. So, Giovanni, there you are. Sorry, I'm like talking to nobody. But, thank you again. I want to go ahead and bring up to the stage the rest So here we go. From Ánimo City of Champions, we have Dana Hurtado and Tyree Rucker. Ánimo Inglewood, we have him. Is it not working? Oh, okay. For Ánimo Inglewood, we have Jana Abdullah and Angela Bradley. Ánimo Jackie Robinson, we have Amy Arevalo, Amy Arevalo and Hillary Serrato. All right. From Ánimo Leadership, Yaretsi Coit and Natalia Tobar. The other site finalists from Ánimo Lock, we have Julissa Beltran. Representing Oscar De La Hoya, we have Angel Jimenez and Melissa Ortega. From Ánimo Ralph Bunch, Jasmine Mariano. From Ánimo South Los Angeles, Chinomso Augustine and Jordan Pacheco. Ánimo Venice, Jose Aragon Jr. and Isabel Alejandro Dolores. And from Ánimo Watts, we have Ade Joke Akinsanya. Where is she? There she is. All right. Awesome. So again, these are our school site finalists across our high schools. So if we could give them a round of applause. Okay, awesome. Yeah, thank you. Oh, listen, if you have the publication, turn to Jordan Pacheco's music review of Neutral Milk Hotel's classic album. Shout out. Look at this cool kid. He's like my brother. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to one of the newest branches of Animo Voices, which is our spoken word competition. Ooh. So I would like to introduce to the stage to kick off this portion, Miss Burnette from Animo South Los Angeles.
Angie, never stop being you. Hi, everybody. My students bring me joy, a lot of it. I have a real enviable position at ASLA where I teach, where I get to meet students as ninth graders, and they're like Play-Doh, right? You're just like all over the place, and you're kind of trying to form them into something, and they're wiggling out of the molds. And then I get to meet them again as seniors when I teach them in upper level courses like AP Literature. The student that I'm about to introduce brings me so much joy. She has a joy that I share with her of storytelling. She loves to read beautiful stories. She loves to tell beautiful stories. And this piece that she's going to share with you is about passing on knowledge, passing on stories, and how that passing on of itself through generations can sometimes bring joy, but also sometimes stop and prevent pain. It is my real distinct honor to introduce our class president, Ashley Pineda.
My name is Ashley Pineda, and this is my piece. She tells me. Laying in my bed, getting lost through the words of literature late at night, just as I do in the many stories of my grandmother, or her lectures. She tells me that I have everything I need, unlike her. She tells me the story of how she and my grandfather immigrated to this country with my dad, uncles, and 11-month-old aunt in her arms. She tells me every detail of how they had to hide under a cactus tree so that Border Patrol wouldn't find them. She tells me how she constantly had to tell my uncle que bajara la cabeza. But just as a curious 4-year-old would, he wouldn't listen because he heard a huge bird humming in the sky. She tells me that after crossing the borderline, she hid with her 4 children in the back of a truck. And my grandfather instructed her that if he doesn't return with the coyote, to drive the truck and don't look back. But he came back with a gallon of milk for his children, and she said they drove down that road awaiting their future, awaiting the American dream that Friday morning. Now, she gives me much more harsh but beautiful lectures that come with words like, como mujer te tienes que dar valorar. No eres basura y no debes dejar que te traten como si lo fueras. These words engraved into my mind, I carry myself with morals and value myself greatly. Now, cooking is one of my love languages thanks to her. All of the recipes she has passed down to me, but never will they ever be the same as hers. The recipe I know that will always stick with me is that one of strength and resilience. Even after being sexually assaulted, feeling his cold but familiar hands on my skin, tarnishing my innocence, I kept pushing. And I let God y la Virgencita guide me and hold my hand throughout the many years. I also held my own hand. I comforted myself in the shower, in the only place I could be alone, feeling the scorching hot water on my back because the feeling and disgusting touch would not disappear. I did it. I survived. I'm a survivor, and I could not have done it without Katy. That little girl deserves the world, and I'm going to give it to her. Now, it's fuck you, hermanito querido, te odio. Pero así es la vida, ni modo. Y aunque la vida me pisotee, siempre me levantaré. Thank you.
Ashley, wait. Did you see your new fan club? Yeah. I love it. I love this. I don't know what that means. No, I don't get how you talk now. How do kids talk? What does that mean? I'm real. Got it. Oh, okay. Yes, Gen Z. I love it. Feeling my age. Let's keep it moving. I would like to, again, welcome back Ms. Botello from AJR.
You got this, mijo. I love this young man. I love this young man. I love his character, his spirit, his strength. I love the fact that he stands for something. At Eli Productions 3 on Instagram. He's a junior, and he is joy. He's a joyful force everywhere, in the morning, just everywhere. He's the kind of kid that, for you teachers and folks who work in schools, I don't know about you, but I walk down the hall, and every day I say good morning to a bunch of people, like hundreds. And I don't know, 6% say good morning back. But with Eli, that's 100% every day. And he says it before me, because, that's the kind of guy he is. We are very proud of him. He's an athlete, a stellar athlete. He is an artist. He's a photographer at Eli Productions 3 on Instagram. He has his own production company. I don't know if you heard me say, at Eli Productions 3. He takes pictures. He's a videographer. He's a runner. We have a track team of 3 people? It's 3 people on our track team. And we had our first meet against Dorsey, powerhouse. So in the 100, he came in second. And then in the 200, he won. And he's going to the prelims. And it's weird that I think that I'm proud of his athleticism second to the pride that we have in his artistic ability. He brings consistent effort, positivity, energy into everything that he does. And I feel like you'll see when you take a look at his performance. He went through several drafts of it. He's a perfectionist. He needs to give himself a break once in a while. But I really think our school's named after Jackie Robinson. And, every once in a while, there's this kid who represents everything it's supposed to be, what the legacy is. So it's my honor to introduce to you Mr. Eli Roberson.
Hello, my name's Eli. Yeah, I think I heard everything already. Can I get a countdown or something? Or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Click. Click. Joy. Wait, hold on. Let me get this angle real quick. I've been doing this since I was a kid. Hey, son, let's go take some pics. I have to interview the mayor. He loved the work that she did. Ever since that, I fell in love with it. Looking into the lens, zooming into the future, zooming into the light, zooming into the cave. I took a picture of the cave. Oh, it came out too dark. Changed the settings, turned up the brightness, took it again. I see my joy. Driving past the docks, see an anchor holding down a ship. I take a picture, because that's how I was held down when thoughts was cluttering my head. I see my joy. Sitting at the park, watching kids put together a puzzle. I take a picture because that was me trying to put my heart back in pieces. I see my joy. Sitting on the front porch at 5:30 p.m., watching the beautiful sunset, beautiful colors. I take a picture because that's what I saw when I first found God. I see my joy. Whoa. Took a picture of the night sky. It came out blurry. Took it again. It came out blurry. Kept taking it over and over again. Changed the settings, but nothing worked. Click, click, click. Thoughts hit harder than a punch in boxing, hit harder than an earthquake, hitting and shaking my mood away. Just because it's nighttime, negative thoughts start cluttering my head, daydreaming so much before I go to bed. I was just trying to take a picture of my joy, but since it's nighttime, my head started making a bunch of noise. We're just trying to take a picture of the night sky, but it came out blurry because the dark, you got to say goodbye. Whoa, it's a dark place, like a house with no windows, or deep inside the cave. I found my joy. So when I try to take a picture of the dark place or go back, it comes out blurry, like a mirror during a hot shower, because I do not belong back. I see my joy. So pick up your camera, zoom into things that make you happy, like the eyes and smiles of your loved ones, like a rainbow on a rainy day. You accomplishing your goals. Zoom into your future. Don't zoom into what you left. Take pictures of your joy. Edit out the woe, let go, turn up the exposure, let the joy be exposed. Black and white pictures are meant for stuff in the past. So black and white your woe because it wasn't meant to last. Saturate your joy and give the woe a big push. Now focus on your joy and keep the woe shushed. I see my joy.
Thank you, Eli. All right. Eli Productions 3, right? All right, our communications associate, you know, you're out of a job next year. Eli, you're gonna do our production for Animal Voices next year? Okay, all right. Sounds good to me. I want to bring up to the stage our honorable mentions for spoken word. So Melissa Batana from AJR. No, I know. And Mila Jones, I don't think she was able to make it tonight. So just stay here. For everybody who's not in this inside joke, this is not her. This is somebody representing Melissa. Got it? And then if I could also introduce a few of our site winners, spoken word site winners that are joining us this evening. From JMS, we have Jayla Everett and Jayana Moore. Yeah, she's gonna come up. Yeah. From Animal Leadership, David Barron. Are you here this evening? Yeah, we're gonna take a picture. And from Animal Watts, Anaya Camacho. For our school site winners, you'll find their performances through this QR code. Okay, so you could view these three students through the QR code. Picture? Awesome. All right, thank you. Okay, cool. Are we doing this again? This happened last year. But, you know, we've learned our lessons. Yes, Ms. Kopera? Not yet. Okay, so first, I want to pause as we close out the night with our first place winners to acknowledge a few people. So I'm going to bring back to the stage Ms. Leona Matthews and Mr. Juan Pacheco.
Wow, I'm so inspired. Thank you guys so far. We're looking forward to our next round, but I want to take this opportunity to give thanks to our incredible Green Dot ambassadors who have really made this night possible. Dan and Amanda Keston. Oh, they're behind the back. And Rob and Jane Edinger, sitting there in the middle. Their support and generosity has helped make this competition possible since it began 6 years ago. We all started this together, so we're so grateful that they're continuing to help make this a possible, an actuality, our Animo Voices competition. They have contributed to awards. Our students who are finalists also receive scholarships, iPads, Kindles. There's a bunch of things that you'll see students unpack in their bags, all depending on what place they got and what competition they were part of. I'd also like to thank our Green Dot ambassadors, Caroline Kelly, right there. As well as the Harriman Foundation for making it possible to host this evening's event here in the beautiful LA Public Library. And now we have the pleasure of hearing from our first place winners across all categories.
Hola, esperamos que estén disfrutando esta noche. Nos gustaría aprovechar este momento para agradecer a nuestros embajadores de Green Dot, Dan y Amanda Keston. Un aplauso. Rob y Jane Edinger. Aplauso. Cuyo apoyo y generosidad han ayudado a hacer posible esta competencia desde que comenzó hace 6 años. Sus contribuciones nos han permitido brindarles a nuestros ganadores una variedad de premios como becas universitarias, iPads, Kindles y una publicación, y siempre están apoyando este evento. También nos gustaría agradecer a la embajadora de Green Dot, Caroline Kelly. ¿Aplauso? Y a la Fundación Harriman para hacer posible que organicemos el evento y la cena de esta noche en la Biblioteca Pública de Los Ángeles. ¿Okay? Así que un aplauso. Y ahora tenemos el placer de escuchar a nuestros ganadores del primer lugar en todas las categorías. Así que hay que seguir disfrutando. Gracias.
Once again, thank you to our generous donors. I love this. I love doing this. I think you could tell. And I hope to keep on doing this. So we appreciate your support and generosity. So now for the last few performances of the evening, we will be going through all of the first place winners in art, writing, and spoken word. So first off, I'd like to introduce Miss Kopera from AJR.
Good evening, everyone. Let's give a round of applause for Angie. Woo! I love you so much. You are my joy. Yeah, okay. It is. I love you, America. But let's talk about Elizabeth. Okay, Elizabeth Flores Martinez. This is her work right here in the middle. Woo! Last year, Elizabeth Flores was originally placed in my drama class, and she did not look happy. And I noticed these stunning pen doodles in the margins of her paper, of her monologue, and they were just amazing. So we quickly switched her to advanced art as a 10th grader with 11th and 12th graders. And I believe she found a home on our campus through the process of making art last year in 8224. Last year, she attended this ceremony and set a goal of winning first place in this year's art competition. And she did it. And I just think it's so interesting because when the prompt came out, you know, Elizabeth said, "It's about joy? Oh, we're all gonna lose." You know? And she was like, that's it. But, you know, she went through it and she found it. She really worked hard to find it. She spent hours on the planning of this painting in her sketchbook, rendering, and then she chose to do oil paint, which is very risky. And she would just blend and render and do each part separately after school. And she created her universal joy. She is an outstanding AP art drawing student, and she just submitted her portfolio. Woo! I mean, amazing. And I am just so privileged and honored to watch you discover and create joy. Thank you, Elizabeth. Please welcome her to the stage.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth, and two things that I want to kind of add on to what Ms. Kopera had said on me and my work. She said how last year I had tried winning Animo Voices, yet I never even made it to the school finalists, and it broke my heart because it was a deep topic of something I was going through, but I cried and everything, but even though I did, I pushed myself to be where I am right now, and I'm very thankful for the support from my teacher and other people, I guess. So I just want to say for people who kind of didn't really make it where they want to. It's about persistence and just pushing yourself and not letting just the bad things get to you. You have to push through, because something good is going to happen, but only if you make it happen. Another thing is the context of my piece. It was originally just an idea of me relaxed in a valley, which was just like my state of mind where I can like be at peace if in case anything bad is going on in my life. So I connected that with joy, and from there I wanted to expand it because it was just a plain valley, but I decided to add things that I was interested in, and that's when I made it a whole universe. My universe of ignorance, my universe of joy. And now I'm gonna read the first half of my artist statement. The main subject of my piece is myself, painting a universe of joy for the viewer to digest. Joy is youthful ignorance and nurturing narratives, and the process of painting led my discovery of how to forever nurture myself. The repetition of visual metaphors such as unicorn, pegasi, the large jellyfish, and an infinite world of sea creatures woven in a tapestry of bright comics create unity in the background. Joy is a nostalgic childhood filled with daydreams fed to us by our guardians. Even though it's important for us to experience and remember our childhood joy, as teenagers, we must learn to nurture and cultivate our joy through the creative process. It's clear that joy must remain strong as we grow, represented by the focal point of the piece, an indestructible tree in the foreground, growing from the artist's efforts. This tree maintains focus because of its size, contrasting values, and the pattern of light purple flowers and dark green leaves. The tree holds a cluster of cats, forever perched, conveying the notion that through creativity, we not only can hold onto all that we've lost, but through painting and imagining, we can multiply our joy. Joy grows from grief. I had cats in my adolescence, yet most of them only managed to live for 2 years, but my cats are forever within my tree of nurture, existing not only with myself, but shared with my audience. Yes, I am still grieving for my cats, but from a distance, they forever give me joy and help me to continue to grow, making me happier and more optimistic. Darkness brings light. This is why the tree is dark, but the light is fighting to break through the sides as the sun rises over the horizon. Thank you.
And I'll let, no, all good. Thank you so much again, Elizabeth. I'd like to introduce to the stage from Ánimo Jefferson Middle School, Mr. Farkas.
Hi, everyone. It's an honor for me to have the opportunity to introduce Fatima Gonzalez. And luckily for me, Fatima has made my job a lot easier by writing a piece that introduces her to the world far better than I could hope to. She has poured onto the page her courage, her honesty, her dedication, and her voice. Fatima's writing reminds us that joy is complex. It is a light in the dark that we find in ourselves and in the connections we make to others. Fatima's light shines brightly at Jefferson, where it's been a privilege to see her grow in her craft as a writer. On stage, in the inaugural year of the AJMS Theater Club, she's shown as Alice in our production of Alice in Wonderland, throwing herself into the role of a young woman finding her voice in a world gone mad, which sounds a lot like 7th grade. So, Fatima, it's been an amazing honor being your teacher, seeing you grow, seeing you write, hearing your voice, seeing the bonds you build with your friends and the place you've made for yourself at Jefferson. So once again, all of you, I am very proud to ask you to give a round of applause for Fatima Gonzalez, winner of the 2023 Middle School Animo Voices Writing Competition.
So my name is Fatima Gonzalez, and I was very nervous to come up here, but I still did it. So my story title is A Feeling That Felt Like Freedom. Like that? Okay. It's called A Feeling That Felt Like Freedom. The moonlight looked so beautiful that night. It was only 9:35 p.m., and I had been with my cousins. Through that night, I had a gut feeling that something would go completely wrong. Around 10:07 p.m., my cousin got a call from her mom. "I want you guys to come back home now," she said over the phone. Something was off in my aunt's tone. It was like she was worried or nervous about something. "We have to leave now, like ASAP," my cousin said. We had started running up the hill to arrive at my aunt's home. I was the first to arrive and asked my aunt what's wrong. My aunt burst into tears. "He's dead, mija." She had muttered through her tears. I ran off to sit down, and I couldn't help but cry. I was all alone, cold and alone. "Hey, are you gonna join the SRLA team?" I heard my friends say. I was sitting on the bench in the hallways. Other people were passing by me and my friend. It was chilly that morning. "I'm honestly not sure, but I want to join," I replied. I walked away, leaving my friend behind. Since my brother's passing happened, I hadn't really felt much joy. Instead, what I felt was sorrow, like I was empty inside. But at the same time, I was full of guilt, because I wasn't there for him in his darkest times. While he was sick, I wish I would have called him. I decided to join the team, and after making it through the first few practices, today was the first 2-mile run since I had made the team. We had been standing in front of the school gates. While we were stretching, it was awfully quiet. I thought to myself, what if I fall? Am I too slow? So many questions were surrounding my head. Only 5 more minutes before we start to run. My emotions can't be explained. I'm calm, yet nervous at the same time. I have this adrenaline feeling that is surrounding my body. I feel a bit happy, yet I also feel upset, because my brother's death had been one of the things I had been thinking about. Only 2 more minutes left now. I start to feel nervous all over again. It's time to start running. Everyone is stretching a bit before we start running. We were waiting in front of the school gates. Suddenly, Mr. Lowe finally came outside to join us. Everyone is starting to run. The gates are getting farther and farther away as I keep running. I can hear Mr. Lowe telling us the directions on where to turn as we were running. Mr. Fine is running in front of all of us. When we were near the turnaround point, there was wind blowing in my hair. It felt so nice. I only had to run a bit faster to make it to the turnaround. And then I had this strange feeling, a feeling that felt like freedom. All of a sudden, I felt so calm. I was so close to finishing the first mile, I was excited. The breeze felt so nice, it just changed my whole mood. 1 more mile, that's all, I told myself. I had not felt like this in a long time. The way everything went silent and I heard nothing except birds chirping. I know what it is. I know what this feeling is. It's joy. It's actually joy. Thank you.
Before I introduce the high school winner, I just want to say that was just an excerpt. The rest of the piece will be found in the publication. So thank you, Fatima. Now, for to introduce our high school first place winner, I have Miss Lopez from Ánimo Watts.
Good evening. It's a real pleasure to stand before you all today to introduce Jamari. To know him is to know sunshine. When we first began working on the Animo Voices submissions, Jamari and I did not, in fact, work as guiding teacher and writer, but as 2 guiding teachers who were trying to help a classmate write a very misleading poem about Costco pizza. Now, every day for about an hour or two, we would work, brainstorm, provide feedback, and truly laugh at all of our ridiculous ideas. But in between that work, I caught a glimpse of his actual work. Through his probing questions, I caught a glimpse of what would come to be joy. A poem that now has become an absolute favorite of mine, without a doubt. When he won our school site competition, Jamari allowed me to read it to our AP Lit class, and after a few cracked words on my behalf, I looked up to find a class full of very, very teary eyes. I hope that this poem moves you as much as it's moved us, because Jamari is joy. To his parents, thank you so much for entrusting us at Animo Watts with his education. We love his presence on campus. He truly is just a light in this world, and we love him so, so much. So thank you, guys. To Jamari, my favorite Hufflepuff, you are my absolute favorite child. I love you so much, and I am so proud of you. And I cannot wait to see what the future holds. He has officially confirmed his admittance to Cal Poly Pomona. So without further ado, please help me in welcoming Jamari Bookman, first place winner of the Animo Voices Competition.
I was too tall. Hello. I'm not much of a public speaker, but just watching everyone here. First of all, I want to say I love you so much. I love you. Being a teacher is just so important. Anyways, but if I could say like one thing, it would be there's so much joy in existing, which is what this poem is about, and just watching everyone here. I don't have a physical trophy, but if I did, it would be for every student that has walked the stage, because I don't even know how I got first reading. Like, I'm just, okay. But yeah. I love you guys. Art is so important, and thank you to Animo Voices for the past 6 years for giving students, the opportunity to express that, because it's not very easy. So thank you. And, this is joy. You asked me why I smile when I know that life is cruel. And it was best to hold you as I told you that every morning I wake up and I can breathe and blink, and speak and think about the whys and the hows, the thens and the nows, the whens and the whys, and the times that I've cried. And I can laugh because I lived, because I felt it all. I touched the sky and I held the earth, and I created light because I knew such darkness. And because I know love, my darkness met its light, and my world has a reason to rotate. You listened and observed, and as you still wondered, how could I find comfort in chaos? And you asked me why I smile, and I said I smile because I'm still here. I'm happy because it's happening.
Yes, sir.
Thank you again, Jamari. And for our last performance of the evening, I'd like to welcome back to the stage Ms. Kopera from AJR.
The first time I I met America, I didn't see her, I heard her, because she was my 10th grade Zoom student. And my art classes were very silent. And that is very hard for a teacher and very woeful to not get any responses and not see anyone on the camera. And you know, we'd be 25 minutes into class, and then all of a sudden she'd be in the waiting room, and I'd let her in. Hey, girlie, what'd we miss? I'm awake now. And that for me was just so much joy, so much light, because when she would come in late, it still was oxygen for me. And this is what I wrote. I am so grateful for you, America, and I am grateful for this prompt, because defining joy was so challenging for all of our students, all of our class. Joy really was, as our senior, America Castillo Cruz names it, a mystery. Not understanding joy as a community and a class called to attention the urgent work that we all must do post-pandemic to heal. And we need to re-heal. America began by naming her woe through metaphors, images, and a wealth of bravery. And as she developed her piece, I love seeing the students see her and hear her and look up to her. And they saw and they heard their woe in her voice. And they discovered their joy because of her poetry and her leadership with this project. So I am grateful for you, America. It's okay, girlie, you can cry. I'm grateful to have taught you for 2 years during the pandemic, and especially now. At Ánimo Jackie Robinson, we admire you so much. I love hearing your voice booming in the hallways. I am proud when you lead all school rallies. Thank you for being a master poet and a bit of a secret poet, jotting down metaphors on your notes app in your phone all day. You've taught me so much. Please know that this gift you have can be a career and a road to a lifetime of joy. You are my joy, and it's here, right here, America. I typed it. So give a round of applause for America Castillo Cruz! You got this, have fun.
I don't know if I need the microphone, but y'all let me know, okay? So, buenas tardes a todos los que están aquí. Good afternoon to everyone. My name is America Castillo Leticia La Cruz. And honestly, I want to say thank you to Miss Kopera, because without her, I wouldn't be here. Like, I was just trying to pass her class. I don't even go to her class. But, yeah, so thanks to her, or else I literally would not be here. I didn't even know I went for a place. She woke me up from my nap to tell me this, guys. Y'all know how bad that is. But, I'll start. The lights are my road. Joy is when you laugh so much your stomach hurts. When you smile so hard your eyes squint and wrinkle. Joy is when you feel the breeze flowing through your face. When you feel happy just by seeing someone else happy. Joy is being able to smile without having to force it. Joy is seeing the leaves turn color. Joy is being home under a blanket, watching the leaves fall and land softly against the ground. Joy is joy, a feeling, an action. Maybe a mystery, who knows? Joy is like a house with a pretty tall tree, a porch with a rocking chair, and a yard full of fallen leaves, a mat at the entrance saying welcome. Feeling the breeze slowly go through your open window far away from the road. The road, it takes you many places. Sometimes you don't even know where. It's full of trash with hot cement and lines. Everyone takes the road, but when it's dark, no one is seen, but let the lights hit it, they're the first ones to show, and when they find their station, they don't need it anymore. They abandon it, they leave it, it's empty and alone. And they get mad when it has so many signs to show the way. So many signs to show the way. Sorry, I lost myself. Show the way. But how clear can it be? And still, they don't understand. The road will take them to the end of the world and back and won't ask for anything in return. But instead of being happy that you could feel the breeze in the road, they complain about being hard to inhale. But nobody stops and thinks, why is it so hard to breathe? Maybe it's because the breeze carries everything. The woe, the loneliness. Even with its woe, the road won't change. It will take you home regardless the way you make it feel. But will it be the house with fallen leaves, a nice porch, the smoke in the fireplace coming out the chimney? Or will it be the home you wish you never had to go back to? But you feel so guilty because you owe that house so much. But it doesn't matter, even if it costs you joy. Joy, I don't know. I think I felt joy once. I smile, so I look joyful, but that's not the case. Crying can mean two things, sadness or joy. But in reality, how do I really know what is what? Like, am I crying because I'm so proud? Or am I crying because they're not here to see it? Doesn't matter, I end up laughing anyways. Is it because I'm joyful, or is it because I pity myself? What really is joy? I haven't found out yet. Is it the warm house with the chimney, or the house I don't want to go back to? Joy is chocolate melting your mouth, sneaking out in the middle of the night, getting in the car, going for a drive, looking up at the dark blue cloudy sky. There's beauty in the woe. Where are the stars? I'll drive far to see the stars, away, away, away from the woe. This is my joy, running, jogging, sprinting away as fast as I can so I can reach the stars before the sky gets full of clouds. Driving past DT and seeing the lights. Look at how bright my dreams could be. My house, my road, the future me. The lights are my roads where I find my happiness, where the stars are no longer so far to reach, where my eyes shine so bright, just by seeing this hope in the sky. Thank you.
You're so real. Did I do that right? Yeah. You're so real. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, folks, everybody here, our student writers, poets, artists, to all of the family members who are here, parents, guardians, father figures, mother figures, everybody, to our donors. Thank you so much for coming out to Animo Voices 2023 about joy. We are done.